What's good, Josh? Your man DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk podcast. And I hate to do no episode without my dog Keith, but today I got a special guest in the building. It's my guy from way back, man. When I met him, he wasn't even doing music. Now he's international superstar on the music scene, holding it down. My guy, Bro. What's going on, brother?
Yo, wagwan plicka. Long time, bro, for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know him as Clint. He know me as Chris. You know what I'm saying? And we done came a long way. You know what I mean? But very happy to see, like, because what happens with life, I guess, you know what I mean? You go to school with people travel, people grow, and I think we're very blessed to live in an age where we got technology, right? We got Facebook, we got Twitter, we got Instagram. So it's not like back in the day, like you kind of could keep up with somebody without necessarily calling them every month, calling them every 3 months. You kind of could see someone's progress. And when I fell out of touch with Clint, he wasn't even doing music, right? I didn't know you was doing music. I knew you as loving music and you was dancing. You was definitely on the scene holding it down, but I did not know you as a artist. And when you popped up on the scene making music, I was like, okay, it caught my ear and I had to pay attention to it. Like, so just let me know. Just catch me up. How did that transition happen?
And honestly, that's how it was, bro. Like, remember we used to dance at like the SUNY Albany events and things like that.
Shout out SUNY
Battling at parties and stuff. I was big into the reggae. So it started off with the dance, but because I love the culture so much, I wanted to be a part of it more.
Okay.
But I didn't want to be another Wyclef. So
Why? What you mean by that? I'm a fan of Wyclef. What you mean?
I'm a fan of Wyclef too, but there a lot of people in the reggae community didn't give him his respect when he first started doing reggae.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
I got what you're saying.
He had to earn that respect, and I'm sure I have to earn mine too. But I just wanted to take my time with that sound, so I did hip hop and poetry for a bit.
Okay. Now was it so break that down? So was it like I wanted to get into reggae, but maybe let me get my foot into it through the rap and poetry scene? Because something I noticed, right? Like I'll hear people call it radio shows and they'll say, let me rap, right? And as they start rapping, someone let them get 4 bars in, whack, corny, da-da-da. But then I noticed somebody be like, yo, let me do poetry. They let them rock. Right? They let them finish. It's like, yo, let the art flow, you know what I'm saying? Let it go. And if for some reason for hip hop, if you don't knock them down in the first 3 seconds, maybe they turn it away. So did you see maybe entering through those ventures as opposed to jumping straight into reggae as your entry into the scene, or was it you just felt more comfortable doing those art forms?
I think I was trying to shake the bugs of standing in front of people and performing. Okay. And I feel like hip hop was a great entrance to that since I was already doing poetry. I was doing like poetry shows out in Massachusetts. And after a while, and I sat down with like some people and tried to figure out my sound. And I mean, I love hip hop. We grew up on hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like the Biggies, the Pacs, J. Cole now, Kendrick, all of them. But I feel like I couldn't express myself fully through hip hop because it's so competitive. You kind of stray from expressing yourself to competing with these other musicians who's trying to make it too.
I like that outlook. Yeah. It also something I'll say about hip hop, and as being a fan of hip hop from the earlys, it's a limited art form, but it's self-inflicted limitedness. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else is limiting the art form other than the people that consume it and make it. You know what I'm saying? And you see it with trends. You see it with like, oh, well, drill music's working now. Let me drop a drill record. Like, but did you really care about making drill records? Is that, you know what I'm saying, what you really want to be known for? Or is it, as I see it from maybe a overall view from the outside looking in, it's like, it's not even about expressing your art, it's about getting the exposure. And so people are doing things in you know what I'm saying, to take away from their art to just get those looks. And which I'll get 100%. What's the point of making it? You make it something for people to consume, right? So you want to get as many eyes on it, but at what cost?
But you think about it, it's who we allow to be successful in making music. So if we allow the people who's talking about the same stuff to be successful, like I love the baby, but come on, you know what I'm saying? Like his message is pretty violent. Okay. So it's like it carries on that trend from like when hip hop started. You know, our experiences in our neighborhoods is violent, and that's our expression. These days it's not always that. You know, there's other point of views in the hood. Like, I don't know if you heard my song Came From. It's like, I was a nerd who wanted to watch TV, but I was in the hood where they were shooting and robbing and all this craziness. So it's always going to be perpetuated in hip hop, because that's what sells.
You got the bar on there where you say never really been hood, but came out the hood. I might be messing that up, but I like that, because what I saw growing up a lot. This is crazy because we never had. This is crazy for me, Perfect Talk family, because me and Clint been peoples and never really talk music. So this is awesome that we get to have this like conversation right now. But something that I saw when we were actually in college, I think Kanye, such a renaissance man, and he brought such a change to the music that he's the beginning of a lot of people starting to be themselves. Like, they felt exactly what you expressed in that song, never really been hood, but I came out the hood. So now you got people faking it. You know what I'm saying? And you wasn't hanging with them dudes on the corner. You're rapping their story, actually. You know what I'm saying? And so I think what Kanye brought in, that I'm not afraid to be different. It's like, I don't care if you make fun of what I'm wearing. I don't care if you, me being different is actually my superpower. Right. And I think a lot of people started to embrace that after him, and maybe just more. And it sucks where Kanye's at, I guess, in the culture right now. People look at him as kind of like a caricature or a meme. But it's like, he really brought in that much change, you know what I'm saying? Where it was like, be yourself. Rock whatever clothes you want to wear, do what you think is cool, not what somebody else thinks cool was gonna get somebody else's attention, man. So yeah, but fill in the gas for me some more. So you moved out, when you move out to Arizona?
I moved out to Arizona, I think 2017.
Okay, but that wasn't in the pursuit of music. That was just like your life had took a change and you needed something new.
I needed something new so badly. I needed to leave the East Coast. Like, I ain't ducking nobody, I ain't hiding or whatever, but I had a bad relationship.
Not no more. They see you right here.
right. Like, good now.
It's open now. Nah, but
it was a bad relationship.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a bad relationship. I had just got re-enrolled in school, and so I was with this girl, and we were living together, and I guess she was very jealous. Okay. And it was very toxic. So I decided to separate, but we were living together.
Okay. That's hard. So, I did that a few times in my life. I've done that. That's crazy.
Bro, it was scary as hell, bro.
It takes a high level of maturity to do that, man.
Yeah, but it doesn't work if it's only on one side. So this girl was like climbing through the neighbor's fire escape, coming through the window, just doing crazy stuff. So one day I was out I was out at work, and she snuck into the crib and lit everything on fire, bro. Like, everything. She torched everything. This is out in Massachusetts, of course. This is out in Lynn, Mass. And you know, I was like, damn, I was rendered homeless. You know, like I didn't have no other options. Like, my family was struggling trying to get themselves right, so I couldn't really lean on it.
And I want you to pause right there too, because it's something that we actually spoke about in the past couple of episodes on Perfect Talk. You see Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. You've seen Rob Kardashian versus Black China. You even seen Danny Levy did a recent interview with Angie Martinez talking on her side of the altercation she had when the baby actually had her arrested. And I'm not sitting here trying to say, yo, there's a population of men out there that want to catch women lying or want to catch women being abusers or I'm not part of that, but I myself went through a toxic relationship, and something that we don't touch on enough is when you're on the side of it as men that you just expressed that you're on, it doesn't get enough shine. It doesn't get enough, like, sometimes we feel like our hands are we're handcuffed. We really
our hands usually are tied.
Yeah, exactly. And then
you don't want to look soft.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a perpetuation of a character upon you that it's like, yo, you're soft, or you push, or you calling the cops, and it's like, bro, if I didn't call the cops, she'd end up calling them on me, or sometimes
what happened, bro. It was crazy, bro. It was ridiculous, and I'm like, I wasn't even here. She burned down my crib. What's the question about?
Yeah, but it's still like, and you feel the energy is even against you when you approach a situation like that. So I 100% understand. So you said you headed west. Like 5 west, you know what I mean?
But before I head west, I met my shorty out there, and I just told her, I was like, yo, honestly, I got to make a change. I was either going to move to Cali, Miami, And then she brought up Arizona. And I was like, I don't know nothing about Arizona, but let's check it out. It's always sunny. Rented a car, drove out there, and bro, we were broke because we both got fired. So we were both on unemployment and we had no money. We just drove out there and stayed at a hotel for like a month. And I just had to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I performed my first time within that month out there. They took to me in Arizona.
Okay. I love stories like that, man. I always see, I was younger and I'd hear a lot of stories like that. And I was like, is it, because I hear a comment thread of people be like, yo, I just picked up with nothing and made it happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, are those people, do they have the character in them before that happens, that they move and then they make it happen? Or is it that they just put their back against the wall and it brought the greatness out of them? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know which one you would tell me, like maybe you knew like, yo, wherever I go, it's going to happen because I'm going to make it. Or it was like, yo, I had to necessarily be there, zero money in my pocket, staying in a hotel, no other options. This is what I got to do.
So I didn't necessarily put my back against the wall, and that's what pushed me. I had no choice. The wall fell on my back. So I could sink or I could survive. And I, like, even from college, from SUNY, bro, I always felt like I was meant for more. So I always kept that drive.
Okay.
So even when I had obstacles and I didn't know how to get out of it, it's like, damn, I'm meant for more. And I always moved that way. So it's like, if I'm meant for more, I can't be sitting around doing nothing. If I'm meant for more, I need to put energy in the things that I want to do and I want to be recognized for. So that's what I did. I went to work, I saved, I got an apartment the next month. Like I was building, I refused to get back to where I was back in on the East Coast.
I like that. I like that. I like that. We're gonna get back to your story in a little bit. But like I said, I think I spoke to you off air about this. I want to interview you, but I also want to keep it like a traditional Perfect Talk episode and get some of your opinions on just topics going on in the news. So first thing I gotta bring up that I seen this week that caught my attention was Young Thug and Gunna, man, got picked up, RICO charges, and it hurt because I like their music a lot. Young Thug was one of the artists. When I first heard his music, I was like, what the hell is this? His voice is crazy, he's talking crazy, and it's over the years I've seen him grow into like a dope artist. And then the fact that he had an influence like the little babies that's out and Gunna on that generation, you know what I'm saying, to the point that Gunna signed under his label and Gunna's just dropping hit after hit after hit. He's hopping on other people's records, so it kind of hurt a little bit that they got picked up, you know what I'm saying? And just to give people some details on it, basically it's like a RICO charge. They got Young Thug locked up on on charges of participation in street gang activity, conspiring to violate the RICO Act, and also picked up 7 additional charges when they raided his home. They found possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute, possession of a firearm, possession of a sawed-off shotgun, sawed-off rifle, machine gun, dangerous weapon, or silencer, and 3 counts of being a person employed or associated with a criminal street gang to conduct or participate in criminal gang activity through the commission of a crime.
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro.
That's crazy.
And then I think it's even crazier because they picked up Gunna, or I should say Gunna turned himself in. And I don't even know if Gunna got anything to do with the street shit that they trying to tie Young Thug to, but I think just as his artist, and I guess maybe they just got certain lyrics, certain songs he's on, he's tied in.
That's a lot, bro. Like getting a conspiracy charge like that's a lot of pressure. I even I grew up loving Young Thug too. You know what I'm saying? Like he was one of the artists that influenced me because he didn't care to switch it up. You know, he was himself the whole time. But I don't really get into that media too much. Honestly, what you put out there is what you get.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like so I read a tweet from Ice-T, and he cleared it up. It's really easy to convince the listeners that you're gangster, but it's very difficult to convince the feds that you're not. And I was like, yeah, that sums it up right there, bro. Like you got into music to change your life. And now he has to deal with the repercussions of his actions. Like,
it's catchy too. You saw Tekashi have to go through this, like, and I mentioned it before, it's the exposure thing, right? Excuse me. So what's the easiest way to get exposure? Like, what are we doing right now? We doing a Zoom interview. My audience gonna get introduced to you, your audience gets introduced to me. So we collaborate, we're bringing it together. A lot of people want to take the fast route. They want to be like, let me stand next to this dude. Let me just do that. Instead of reaching out, making connections. And I'm not gonna lie, it sucks. It's hard, right? It's a grind. I see the, numbers aren't exactly where I want them to be. Then I had to push a little bit more, get them up. And so it's a slow grind, a slow growth to get where you want to go, as opposed to if I just stood next to somebody else that knew that was doing a famous podcast or somebody else is getting some shine, that would give me the plug right away. So I get the attraction, or even in music, you might need the protection, right? You might need to strengthen numbers. I got to go to this club. I got to go to this bar. I experienced that as a DJ. You don't want to roll solo dolo. You got to bring, some muscle with you. And at the end of the day, they got to get paid too. They got to eat too in some way, shape, or form. And if you ain't got the resources, that could turn on you. So you got to keep them happy as well. So it's really what you surround yourself with. Like I said, my grind might be a little bit slower, but I'm solo dolo. And at the end of the day, when I hit the top, I ain't got to break nobody off with, yo, thank you for getting me here. Thank you for getting me there. It's that could come from the bottom of my heart. It ain't no like you could hold nothing over my head type of things. Right. And a lot of these guys are in situations, I'm not saying particularly Young Thug and Gunna, but they're in this situation where they're still tied to this because it helped them get that elevation. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That lifestyle pushed them to their success, or helped them get to their success, or honestly, they use that branding to help them get to their success. So, I mean, it's not, they're partially to blame. It's like, it's not just the lifestyle, it's them. They was like, this lifestyle is going to be famous. Like you were just saying, like, it just sucks, bro. I hate seeing black men, period. Like you made it, you're successful, and now look at you. You know what I'm saying? He's in solitaire fighting to get regular accommodations in prison. Like, I feel for Young Thug, and I don't know what Gunna's going through. He turned himself in, so obviously he feels like they were gonna come after him anyways.
Yeah. Well, he knew what it was. He knew what time it was. Everybody probably contacted his lawyers. It hurts too. Like I think the last time it hit me hard, maybe just because of the age I am now, was Young Dolph. When I saw Young Dolph get killed, I'm like, bro, what are we trying to do every day by trying to advance and trying to get out? If they just gonna, like, you still gonna get hit like that, broad daylight street, you know what I'm saying? Like, you worth millions of dollars. What are we even doing? Like,
or even homie that got shot in his Lambo a couple years back. I think he was in his driveway. Who was that artist? The young cat.
Was it Troy Ave? Maybe
no. Oh man, I forgot about Troy Ave too. It's like there's a lot of them. We're losing a lot, and we got to change the narrative as far as music. Like whatever, we got to change what's trending.
I like that. Because as a DJ, I get guilt sometimes. I really, and maybe because I'm a parent now, and my daughter, she's listening to Kids Bop, so which is they take the adult songs, they have the kids perform them, same songs though. So it's kind of like a entry way into urban radio or contemporary radio or top 40 radio, whatever their style may be that they're into. And I get, as I'm listening to certain music, like, and not to pick on the City Girls, because I'm a fan of the City Girls, I love their music, but I'm like, what part am I playing to perpetuate the culture by playing this song? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna listen to her lyrics and be like, yo, that's some whole shit, or you know what I'm saying, that's kind of slutty, right? And I'm gonna have those judgments on it, or even be like, yeah, that's what I like, that's what I'm looking for. What part am I playing by perpetuating that to the culture? And I haven't reached a point where I'm like, nah, I'm not playing certain lyrics, or nah, I'm not doing it, because I'm like, it's not really my job to raise your children. You know what I'm saying? You should censor your children from what you don't think your children should hear. And if you don't think you should be hearing it, then you decide not to listen to it, right? I'm just kind of like, I'm expressing myself through the music, but I'm not going to sit here and act like those thoughts don't hit me, where certain artists are talking about all they do is get high, or what they get high on, or, girls are talking about, I don't get a job, I fuck for money. You know what I'm saying? But but not even in a bad way. Like that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I do struggle with that, and maybe that's me getting older, or maybe that's just me. And I guess I balance that out too by this, right? Like I have a podcast where I'm like, yeah, okay, I can play a song for you for three minutes. It's not a representation of me. It's not my beliefs. But then you could also, if you really want to know how I feel, come check out my podcast. You feel me? Come check out how I feel on certain issues, and then you could, I guess, hold me to a higher esteem because it came out of my mouth.
See, All right, I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I'm in the same.
My fault. I know I just threw a lot at you just now. My fault.
No, you're good. And I'm just gonna play devil's advocate because I'm in the same seat because I listen to a lot of this music. I be dancing around here and it's in my playlist everywhere. Music that perpetuates the shit that we want to change. Now, it's not our job to raise children, but at what point do we decide that it's our job to make change? So it's like you want things to change, but I know it's like I'm nobody, so it's like who am I to make the change? But don't wait for someone else to do it.
No, here's what I'll give you pushback. Taylor Swift doesn't get held to that regard, right? Taylor Swift's not like you're ruining young white girls because you're making songs about being broken up with, right? Aerosmith isn't being held to that regard. So why can't we as hip hop be like, we're going to pull the audience in with entertainment. We're going to give you Terminator 2. We're going to give you Goodfellas in musical form, right? We're going to give you entertainment that you should know this is WWE. And if you're not mature enough, go talk to somebody who put you on the game that this is sports entertainment, so to speak, right? But now let's pull them in. And now, okay, I got your attention. Let me write a book. Let me do a book give back, right? I'm giving out book bags to kids in the hood. I'm giving out turkeys to people in the hood. Like, because y'all didn't care about me before I started rapping about this, right? If I was just a dude that was talking positive stuff on the corner, you'd probably think I was crazy. You'd probably be like, yo, give him a quarter, give him $1, something else, move right past him. Well, if I could pull you in, be like, oh, I got you dancing in the club to my music. Oh, I got you rocking to the culture. Oh, I fuck with this podcast. Now I actually can maybe make some real change that doesn't have to come through the form of entertainment. And when I say I know it sounds callous to be like we shouldn't be raising children, but parents need to be raising their children. You know what I'm saying? Parents need to be doing what they need to do to get their children up to the right point.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I guess it's not your responsibility. It's if you feel like there's a problem with music and it's the music that you're playing, then it's you know what I'm saying? Then you're perpetuating the issue. But
yeah, exactly.
You as Flicka, like as Playboy, you're a lover of music. You're a connoisseur of music, so you just absorb music. I don't know your personal views as far as like, you know, certain artists, it's too much violence or too much, you know, vulgar shit in music. I don't know your personal opinions on that, but I know you love music. Like, I know people still listen to freaking R. Kelly.
Yeah, I don't, but I know people do. And that's where it comes from. It's like, so yeah, I like that you brought that up. So I guess where I should say I struggle with it, it's like I still listen to the music. So if it reached that point where I didn't listen to City Girls, then I would feel like a phony to play it. You know what I'm saying? I could play it because I still listen to it. Right. If it really bothered me that much, if I was like, yo, like Rick Ross had that lyric a couple years back, put Molly all in a drink and she didn't even know it, took her home and enjoyed that. I was like, yo, you went too far, bro. It probably sounded real dope in the studio and expressed to everybody, but you got to know the influence you got on the culture, and a dope line don't necessarily have to be put in every song. I can't perpetuate that. I can't rock with that. And you just brought up R. Kelly. I love R. Kelly's music of growing up. And I put blinders on at a point, like I think a lot of people did because we enjoyed his music so much. So, but now knowing what we know and knowing that in some way, shape, or form, he could profit off of me streaming Remix to Ignition, that's going to make me feel good for 3 minutes, I'd rather not. And I even heard something like he don't even own his masters at this point because he might have sold it away or just for legal fees or whatever the case may be. I still don't feel comfortable. You know what I mean? And his shit slaps. Like two things could be true. Like, you could be the worst person in the world, Adolf Hitler, but you could be a genius in some ways, right? You could be the worst president we ever had, Donald Trump, but you could be a marketing genius that got yourself to that platform. You know what I'm saying? So don't mean we can't take things. R. Kelly's a pedophile and a nasty motherfucker, but he's also a musical genius. Let's not sit here and try to take that away from the history books and what it is. Like, whatever he was doing when he wasn't playing the piano, we can sit here and judge it for that. But when that motherfucker got on the keys, we ain't gonna sit here in front like he didn't do what he did. You know what I'm saying? He rocked out. So I think, and it comes down to, I think I reached that point maybe in the Chris Brown I guess era of it. It was like, yo, I don't condone what Chris Brown did, but it's kind of like, you know, we held him on the cross, we crucified him. He's making music, but I'm just gonna bring it up every time I hear a Chris Brown song. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, So I guess we do pick and choose exactly what we want to do. We do it with Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? We do it with certain things. We did it with Rick Ross. Oh, he might have been a correctional officer, but this shit slaps. You know what I'm saying? It's like if the shit didn't slap, I'm sure we'd be clowning him a little harder, but the shit slaps. So it was like, all right, maybe say what I don't know his life story, and I'm not going that deep into it. So I'm here to play music. Yeah,
he sold the image.
Exactly. So. Now, but I like that we was able to talk about that. Also, but it is depressing, man. The rappers, I guess, get to the art, right? Like it sucks, and I know you feel like the money might not be there right away, so you got to do what you got to do in the street. Fetty Wap just got himself in some trouble a couple months ago, drug trafficking and stuff like that. But if you got the talent, it'll pay off. It might not be as fast as you want it to be, but it'll pay off. You just got to shed that circle. You know what I'm saying? Shut off them bad vibes. Shut off this whatever it is, because you don't want to have nothing that somebody can hold over you and pull you down with.
Real talk. I like that.
So I had a chance to check out your EP. I didn't get it to like really get into it as much as I did, but you got a title. What's the title of the EP?
Bro Ting.
Bro Ting, okay. And I like it's those 4 tracks that you sent me in the file. I like that. And it is now. Did you want to go the EP route? Because I got a theory that people consume things in real small chunks nowadays. Like I like to cut my shows up into sections. I like to even make section like a compilation of certain elements from certain shows. Cause I like people don't always got the hour, but they do got the 10 minutes of like, you know what I'm saying, digging into something. Now, is that the approach that you kind of wanted to go with the EP route, or is it
kind of is a mix, it's a combination. So I know that people consume content like, you know, like a minute, 2 minutes with the, you know, social media and all that. But also the thing is, like, I've been performing a lot out here in Arizona, and the people that's been speaking to me and that's been taken to me are asking for more reggae.
Okay.
And, you know, and I was developing more hip hop, more sounds, again, getting lost in the competitiveness. And so I was just like, you know what, let me just lean into this. I can truly express myself through reggae. I am an artist and I want to show people that. So like I have 4 different reggae sounds on it. You know what I'm saying? So
I love it. I got through 3 of the tracks and then we had to start recording. I didn't want to be late, but I just want to say something. I think your hip hop, and I love the reggae stuff, but I think your hip hop is dope too. And I think it's actually kind of fire that you have that versatility as an artist. I was listening to, let me see the 4 tracks I was bumping to. Came From, I bumped to Bagman, I bumped to Multi, and there was another one I think he was on another brother's track. It was called Bird Juice. But even with the 3 tracks of your own, like you spit, bro, and I don't think you should feel like one is greater than the other or one is better than the other. You know what I'm saying? It is what you make it. Like, don't feel like, oh, yo, if I rap, I gotta rap negativity. Like, keep the same positivity you keep it in the vibes and everything else. But I do see a level of talent there that I hear a lot of music and there's something there on the hip hop thing. And then I think a lot of people appreciate the versatility. Like, do you ever get that? Like, maybe you come out at a show and they want the reggae, so then you don't perform your hip hop stuff, or do they feel weird when you do the other stuff? You feel like you got to conform to whichever show you get on?
Most of the times I'm locked in because of the reggae.
Okay.
You know, and I always start off with the hip hop. I'll let them know what to expect into that set or whatever the case may be. But it all depends. If I recently dropped hip hop, that's what I'm going to give you. It doesn't matter what you want because I need to express myself. Like I love you for listening, but it's about me giving to you.
And that's what the track Multi, I think, stood out. Like, multi can mean a lot of things. That's the meaning I got from it. But I took it as multi-talented, like, because there's even a part on it where it kind of, you got a reggae vibe on it, then you got like a little hip hop vibe on it, but then I'm like, I'm gonna still keep it, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, he about to, okay, but he's still okay. Like, I ain't know where he was going with it.
It's like multi-flow, multicultural, multi-talent. Yeah.
Stay with that, please, bro. Because like I said, like, and me, like, I get that as a DJ sometimes. Like, I'm from East Flatbush, Brooklyn. Like, it might as well call it Little Jamaica, Little West Indies, because so it was like, to not be a hip hop, I couldn't help it. I went to sleep with block parties blasting, you know what I'm saying, reggae music. So I was in that regardless, to the point where I put my attention towards hip hop, but I was still able to play the records just off of memory. I just knew that from trying to go to sleep at night and it was playing too loud. You know what I'm saying? But my love was always towards hip hop. And I'm not gonna lie, there were years when I played reggae music when I wasn't even a big fan of it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful for it because it gave me the versatility that I still have to this day. Like, I play a lot of EDM now, but I don't think if I didn't step out of my comfort zone, I probably wouldn't play that now. But one thing I will say is like, I also felt like pressured, right? And maybe that's because where the money was at, there was reggae parties and that. But I felt like, yo, you have to play this. You have to, you know what I'm saying? You have to have this versatility. Whereas now I'm like, I play what I want. You know what I'm saying? I'll give y'all, me and Show will do our radio show, and you might get half hip hop, you might get half EDM. I might throw some soca. You know what I'm saying? Like I got, you know, like I try to mix it up to play what I want because I don't like boxes. I don't like being put in a box. You know what I mean?
I like that. I like that. Because honestly, being a DJ is a form of art also, and you got to be able to express yourself on it. So,
so that's why I respect so much what you do. We're gonna take a quick break, you know what I mean, and pay some bills real quick, and then you know what I mean, we're gonna get right back into it with my man and bro. And of course, we got one of my favorite segments coming up on the way. Have you heard? So make sure you stay tuned. It's Perfect Talk Podcast, baby. What's good, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy in the building.
Yours truly, DJ Show. We here with Money Talks Radio.
And in case you don't know what that is, I'm gonna let you know, man. That is 2 hours commercial-free, clean music, man. Play around your kids, play around your boss. You know how it's going down because it's nothing but good music from your man Playboy Show. Hour 1. Gonna hit y'all with a little bit of program and tell y'all what's going on in the world's current events, as well as all the hot songs going on. And hour 2, what we got for them, Show?
Oh my God, we take it all the way up, man. Nothing but straight vibes, no stopping, nothing, man. You want to take it to the club, you want to take it to the party, you want to take it to the function, we got you, man. An hour with that Money Talks mix.
Yep. Find us on SoundCloud, find us on iHeartRadio, find us on Google Podcasts. Of course, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. They got everything up on there, man. And leave a rating, leave a review. But what should they search when they looking for us too, Show?
When you search for us, you gotta search Money Talks Radio and in parentheses WMTE Worldwide.
All right, y'all, man. We back at it. Still here with my man and bro. Just talking about, you know what I mean, where life has taken us, where we at right now, and just everything going on in the world. So I want to get into a segment that I like to call Have You Heard? What I basically do is I take headlines that I hear and I bring them to the Perfect Talk Podcast to see if something maybe you've heard, even if you didn't hear it, just to hear your opinions on it right now. All right, so first thing we got up. Check the notes. Man, your boy. You know what actually I want to get before we get into have that? I've been asking a lot of people that have been on the show. I talked to Keith about it. I spoke to my homegirl, Ayo Niche, about it, and I kind of want to get your opinion, especially as a man. It looks like a lot of states are trying to ban abortion. And even the Supreme Court is looking to do it on a federal level. I'm not sure exactly how they're getting down in Arizona, where they stand on that type of thing. You might know better than I do. But just personally, in 2022, how do you just feel as a man, like watching women kind of get their right to choose being taken away from them?
You pretty much said it. I see it as you're taking away human rights from people. Like, it has nothing to do with, I mean, it has everything to do with women, but you're taking rights away from people. That's going to cause a problem. That's like, we're going backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, if, you know, I understand, I can't even say I understand, like, it's their body, let them figure out what they want to do with it. Like,
I think it gets even like murkier when they start saying, all right, well, there's no exception to rape or incest or anything like that. It just kind of feels like it's a power play just so that they could tell women kind of what to do. And I'm not a man that's built like that. Like, my success in life, my happiness in life isn't built off of being able to tell women what they can and can't do. And I have a daughter, but I also got a mother and a sister. And I know that what I want and my desires isn't necessarily, it shouldn't even make a difference on what they decide to do. It's their bodies. I can't tell them what to do with it. Like Pac said, man can't make one. He has no right to tell a woman when and where to create one. So it's like, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan of abortion. I'm not like out here I'm not the type of person that would go out and just have multiple abortions and things like that. But I'm also pro-choice. I'm not going to tell nobody what to do because you're not going to tell me what I could do with my body.
And I mean, I know they're trying to like fix what they think it is an issue. Honestly, it sounds like some white man trying to gain back power. No bullshit. But it's maybe it can be regulated better. So women ain't just fucking like, oh, I slipped up. Let me go get rid of this real quick. because my life's not ready for it. Maybe we can find a way to promote other healthier ways to handle that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Like more family
this is
planning, more like understand. I think Young Thug said it actually before he got himself in trouble. Basically, he's like, yo, you got these people out here, y'all making kids that y'all can't afford. So now these kids is out here robbing, stealing, doing all types of shit. And now it's my problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't afford the kids, don't have them. And I wish it was as simple as that, but it comes down to really, if that could be the mentality, and that could be, if you can't afford them, why you having them? You know what I'm saying? Like, type of thing. But it also comes from bigger issues than that. Like, I can say that to somebody, but if they got generations showing them the opposite, that's a hard thing to turn around. You understand?
And information too. Like, okay, one thing, I mean, maybe not everybody agrees to it, but there are options for young men who just, you know, want to live life and not have kids to do that. And then, so like vasectomy, like maybe giving that knowledge out there to young men so they're just not out there smashing everything, having babies and then bouncing, because as a young man, you don't feel tied to that responsibility.
So you're saying like a man who knows he doesn't want to have kids in general, but he knows he still wants to enjoy himself.
But the knowledge out there, like
he might not.
I learned about vasectomies a year ago.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. And then a lot of people might know about it, but not. All right. Well, that's gonna be too expensive. Like a lot of things you don't know until you look into it and do your research on it and figure out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And make it affordable. Like, I mean, we're overpopulated. We're getting overpopulated. So putting a ban on abortion is not gonna help that. Taking away women's rights is not going to help that. Find other ways to fix our issues. Like there's so many other options, bro. And
that's a dope thing you brought up, because even with the vasectomy thing, someone might, you know what I mean? Like, let's say someone knew about that forever, but that's a man's right to choose. He can choose. He makes a choice. So why let's give women that same power? You know what I'm saying? Let's let's not that crazy with it. You got a
beautiful.
Yeah,
I like how you brought that back.
Yeah, no, it's on. I like to get a lot of people's opinion and just on that, because I'm like, when certain things happen in history, I want to make sure that we talk about it and not just like let it breeze right by us, not just let it happen right under our noses. Let's get our opinion out there on that. But I thank you for speaking on that. But have you heard? Your man Dave Chappelle was attacked on stage. He has responded to it. Just definitely said he spoke to the brother and found out the guy, I believe his name was Isaiah Lee. Claims he tackled Dave Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl because he's trying to fight gentrification in Brooklyn. Now obviously this is somebody that is mentally disturbed, because I don't see how Dave Chappelle would tie into gentrification in Brooklyn. But I guess where I want to get your standpoint as a performer, as someone who does be on stage, and sometimes you might be in a vulnerable position if security's not the best. Just where do you think the state of comedy and performing in general is at, where since the Will Smith and Dave Chappelle of it all and Chris Rock and everybody?
I had to talk about this the other day, and I honestly feel like that issue with Will Smith has changed comedy altogether, because now people can feel offended and do something about it. They feel like it's safe to do that. And that was the last piece of like realness we had in this world, was comedy. Yeah. And now they're just taking that away from us. Everything's going to be fake.
That's a good thing you bring up about being offended, because that's part of comedy before, when we came up, right? Going to the comedy show. Remember, how many times we watched that Jamie Foxx comedy special, man?
Bro,
you know, I
need security. Oh,
shout out to my man George. You know what I'm saying? He made us watch that thing over and over. But it was crazy because he's making fun of Whitney Houston, who's unfortunately passed away. He's making fun of Michael Jackson, who unfortunately passed away. But that was, we didn't look at it, and we still don't to this day look at it like, yo, Jamie, you foul for that, because it was within this. He's just reporting on life, and it's comedy, and it may be mean if you really want to break down to it. Someone's going to be offended. Someone probably is like, that's not funny. But it's not to the point. That person kind of has a carte blanche, you know what I'm saying, to operate the way that they're going to operate. Like he's not operating on, he's not the dude next to you in the crowd cracking on your girl. He's a dude on, you came to see him do that.
This is what you came for. Exactly. Yeah. Right.
So no, I definitely I need to get your opinion on. I know the Will Smith thing has been spoken about to a million times, so they're holding the head. But I like to talk to performers, because even as a DJ, I've been in them vulnerable positions where if somebody want to get at you, it's not 15 layers of security. in between you and, you know what I'm saying? And it's like
it's the steps on the stage.
it's pretty much, so it's just like, but yeah, Will Smith put it in a dangerous position now. It's like where people just feel like they can take things in their own hand, and Chris Rock maybe has a sense of responsibility because he didn't press charges, which I guess a lot of black people be like, yo, that's cool, you know, he didn't have another black man locked up, but maybe not pressing charges is sending a message out to people that, yo, there's no repercussions.
I definitely don't think that, and I hope people don't think that, because what Chris Rock did is like honorable,
noble, yeah.
Because just think about it, any black man who's overcome their life, they are always ready to defend where they've made it to. And Chris Rock has been bullied and all that stuff, so he's a man, you know what I'm saying? It's not about an ego, it's about always keeping your composure. Even I was guilty of like, yeah, Will smacked him, he talked about your wife, but in all actuality, I was more emotional than logical thinking. It's just like, that's another black man in front of a room full of, you know, the opposition. So,
and it could have went left. They could have been, and not only was Chris Rock would have embarrassed a black man, but then let's say they was like, yo, Will, you got to get up out of here. You leaving in cuffs. Now it's two black men.
And it could have been the Source Awards. You don't know. Tony Rock come up there like, you hitting my brother. Like,
you're right. It was definitely a misstep. And in the moment, I think it's a lot of sensationalism, and even maybe like you thought it was fake, or just like, oh, that was crazy that happened. But then you take some time to think about it. You're like, yo, this is corny. This is not what we showed up for.
Like, I've moved past it. I think everybody should move past it, and he just needs to be addressed accordingly. Like, he's losing his contracts, he's losing all his deals with Disney and all that stuff. That's the repercussions of not thinking logical and being more emotional.
Let's learn from that mistake. I like that. Have you heard? Actually, I'm gonna ask, are you familiar with the internet personality who unfortunately passed away, Kevin Samuels? Were you familiar with that brother before he passed away?
The relationship guru guy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, like I spoke to Keith about it because he passed away, and I was just letting Keith know that he passed away. Keith didn't even know who he was, but since that time, a lot of people have, rest in peace, definitely. A lot of and condolences to his family. A lot of people haven't been so kind online since he passed away. Notably, you know, Vivica Fox, you know, came on TV and said, you know, that was karma. I don't want to single out black women or the black community, but a lot of black women have, you know, said, all right, well, he got what he deserved, and this, that, and the third. And to me, it's just like, y'all really, you gonna let, I don't mess around with death. When somebody die, I'm just like, yo, that's another level. You got something else that you got to go battle now. Like another side that ain't got nothing to do with the worldly stuff we was dealing with. So no matter really where it was, if you pass on, I'm not holding no grudges past the grave and no nonsense. And I'm definitely not holding I'm not gonna put no negative energy out to some internet dude who, if you understand the internet, he got his popularity by being sensational. He wouldn't have gotten your attention. Like, the people that actually have heard of him wouldn't have heard of him if he wasn't sensational. Like, and I'm not gonna front, like, there's a lot of women that he made feel bad, but I also was under the impression that they volunteered, they called up, like they like wanted to be part of his live or his show or whatever he was doing. So it's not, he's not just walking down the street like making videos like pointing out, yo, you're fat, you're not gonna get a man, and like he's literally fronting to be some type of relationship guru, and then y'all are feeding into it, but then y'all like letting his negativity bring out a negativity in y'all that I think is just like, it's not sexy.
Yeah, and it's a perspective that's out there. It's just he leaned into that perspective. There's a lot of men that agree with him. There's a lot of women that agreed with him. So that's why he was successful. The man passed. Let him pass. Let him rest in peace. If he was wrong for something he done in life, he will be dealt with in his passing.
There was even a pastor, Jamal Bryant, who, like, you know, worked. He was basically like kind of was talking about him, basically saying like, you're telling women after the age of 35 that they can't get married. But basically saying like, yo, you're telling women after 35 they're worthless, they can't get married, but your families is basically having a GoFundMe after you passed away. And I'm like, what is the point of that? He can't respond to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is Howard Stern. This is like Charlemagne the God. These are people who are saying wild stuff because they know is getting them attention. And I think like people feeding into it and as if this man was just walking. There's much worse people in the world than Kevin Samuels. Put it to you like that. Also, and then I've heard Kevin Samuels diss men also, and like he was just only picking on women. Obviously, I think he knew the responses he got when he talked badly about black women, because maybe those videos got crazy numbers, because there probably is a population of people out there who want to see black women spoken to in a way that doesn't make them feel great. Why Kevin Samuels would want to be the voice of that, I don't know. Why people would want to watch that, I really couldn't tell you. But at the end of the day, it's all a show, dog. It's an act. Like, like don't let no internet stuff, I guess, put negative real life energy on you. You know what I mean?
Can't get mad at anybody. The internet created an opinion for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna get mad at someone's opinion on the internet, you might need to do some self-reflection.
Definitely.
You know, maybe it hit home for you. Like,
do you read comments? I know as an artist, do you when you put something up, do you read comments? Because I noticed a trend with a lot of people. Let's say you had 10 comments or something, right? If 9 of them was love and 1 of them was hate, that hateful one stands out for some reason with a lot of people.
Actually, I respond to every comment. I mean, I'm at a level where I have that bandwidth where I can respond to every comment, but I respond to every comment. Even I've gotten hate on social media. Like, I commented on a meme and some dude was like, "Shut the fuck up, bro. You don't know what you're talking about." So I just liked it, and then I went on with my day.
Yeah, because why you gonna get pulled into some back and forth?
Dude don't even know me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's like, I'm not gonna take anything personal that I see unless it connects with me. You know, if they're talking about the abortion thing, I'm gonna look at it and like, yo, that's fucked up. But anything else, shots at me don't mean shit, bro.
Yeah.
It don't make a
It's trolls that got to feed off of you feeding back. Like, and that's what Kevin Samuels was doing. He was a troll, and y'all fed into it. And then every time you kept feeding in, he kept spewing out what he knew people wanted. But with the
successful troll, it's exactly what he was.
And I think Drake, I don't know if you heard, Drake handled it pretty good the other day when somebody cracked on a picture of his kids that he posted, basically saying that his kids play basketball with the Ghost Rider, trying to be funny because Drake used the Ghost Rider years back. And Drake was like, "Yo, I just hopped in your girl's DMs and followed her. She looked miserable, so I think she needed some excitement in her life." And just, you know what I'm saying? Because Drake was like, "Yo, I got it. What can I do? I'm not gonna go back and forth with you." You know what I'm saying? Like, but obviously it struck a nerve. Whatever it was, struck a nerve for Drake to respond, and the way he did it was genius. But it's just like, that's what the troll could use that to keep it going, or to get 5 more followers than they would have got before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's gonna blow up because Drake gave that attention.
Mm-hmm. Him and his girl. And bro, have you heard your man Tom Brady just signed an ill TV deal?
375 mil, bro.
Still playing football, coming back for another season, possibly more. We'll see, because apparently he don't age. But your man Tom Brady is coming back to one of, you know what I'm saying, the biggest deals in like just sports history. 375 million, like you just said, 10-year deal with Fox Sports. Looking like one of the biggest just deals of all time. And it's crazy. Like, actually, Troy Aikman and Joe Buck just went over to ESPN, which is a big move because they just left Fox. So they shaking up a lot of things in the NFL where I'm looking forward to the season.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what caused this deal to happen, because Fox is not going to be outdone.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know,
but yeah, John Madden back in the day. I heard they gave John Madden, like when they gave him $8 million, that was more than any football player was getting at the time. You know what I'm saying? So they're not afraid to break the bank out.
What's messed up is, so I did look into it. So Brady made 300, like less than that during his football career. Like,
I believe that. Yeah, I believe it, because he also took a lot of pay cuts just to have talent on his team. You know what I'm saying? So he was definitely getting underpaid, but he wanted the rings. He wanted to go because he knew he'd get it later. That's what a lot of people got to realize. You'll get it later if you put that work in. Everybody wanted that. And I understand with a game like football, he could have banged his knee out. He could have banged his ankle out. His back could have been broken. So that's a risk he was taking. But he bet on himself, and he like, yo, I just doubled up for talking.
You know what? Respect to him. No hate from here. Like, I heard he's getting a lot of like negative comments regarding that deal. And it's like, let the man eat. Somebody offered it to him. Let him.
Tom Brady's still the GOAT, still killing it on every single field, man. And bro, have you heard your man Diddy is launching a new record label?
What?
Yep. Your man Brother Love, aka Diddy, is launching a new label that's gonna be strictly R&B, and it's gonna be called Love Records.
Did you say his name is Mother Love now?
Brother Love, Brother Love.
Oh, Brother Love.
Yeah. Mother Love would have been tough though. Mother Love.
I'm thinking like the lady that used to give advice back in the day. Mother Love.
Cleo.
Cleo?
Mother Love. Nah,
But really,
nah, Diddy, yeah. That's one of his aliases, Brother Love, but he just decided he's gonna start Love Records, gonna be strictly R&B, and he's dropping a new album.
oh, okay. I'll be there for that. And Diddy makes good music, so I can't really hate on him. So I'll be there for that.
Definitely. I remember when No Way Out came out. That was one of my favorite albums at the time. And even I had people on my block like, yo, that's not real hip hop. That's corny. And I'm like, nah, I know music, bro. He's the guy. There's whatever you think about him, you can think about him, but you can't deny that this is good music.
Right. It's music. It's not hip hop.
Exactly. Music. Like and it's funny, man. When it comes down to a lot of things, we spoke about this earlier with hip hop. It's like, do you need a tough guy soundtrack to feel tough? Like you know what I'm saying? Do you need that to? You can't walk down the street without bumping some that type of music, or you're not gonna feel. Or you need to wear a certain like t-shirt to feel cool, bro. Like that.
Like there has to be a certain image. Like you gotta have a certain look, listen to certain music, get into certain trouble. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're just falling into a trap, like a script, kind of. And you like, yo, you're just doing kind of what's expected of you. And I was like, I always, since young, respected people who stand out, man. So shout out to Diddy for launching that new venture. He's also hosting the Billboard Awards, which is coming on tonight, that's a great look for Diddy. And he made an announcement. Have you heard? And bro, Diddy was like, I'm not hosting unless my man Travis Scott is performing. So Travis Scott is on the bill, his first televised performance since the Astro World tragedy. I guess how do you feel about that with just everything, how that all went down and just where Travis Scott is at now?
I respect that because Travis Scott got a lot of heat for something he didn't have control over. You know what I'm saying? I understand he should have took some type of responsibility for the incident, but it's like, what can you really do? You know, so I'm glad he's back. Like gonna be performing. He's a great artist, great performer, and his music needs to be shared. He needs to be celebrated because he is like in a class of his own. You know, he's not a rapper; he's an artist. So
yeah, I don't like how that all went down. People treating Travis Scott right like he was the devil, like he was the worst person, right? But we wasn't putting no personal accountability on the people that knew people was dying in that crowd and was still pushing forward, knew people was hurt and was still crushing bodies, you know what I'm saying, and trying to get forward. Not that one person could have been like, all right, stop, when it's, you know, that many people, but there's a lot of people out there, if you want to point fingers, that fingers could be pointed at too. And so to make Travis Scott try to have to sit with that on his chest is just foul, you know what I'm saying? Now I didn't lose no family members there, so I can't tell the people who have how to feel. And I get that. Hopefully, you know, Travis Scott performing doesn't bring him any pain, but the man's got to move on with what he does. You know what I'm saying? And we spoke about it so much during this episode about artistic expression. He's got stuff that he needs to express, and he needs to let that out too. Now, can he take a different approach and making sure that his events go down a different way? Absolutely. But I'm not. I feel like this cancel culture that we live to, we got to stop. It's crucify culture. Let's stop doing that. Let's, you know what I mean? The man, he did, we held him to the cross. Now let's let him rise up.
And it's nitpicking. It's like, are we canceling or are we just picking people we don't like? You know what I'm saying? Picking on people we don't like. And there's so many people that actually needs to be canceled out there that's not canceled.
No,
like,
that's a good.
Just an example, and I like him, Joe Rogan.
Okay, talk on it.
It's just like, I understand there's a freedom of speech and, you know, he's expressing his opinions, but this man has apologized for saying so much shit and they keep throwing money at him. It's like, it's if you're going to hold the world accountable, hold the world accountable. And he's part of the world that needs to be held accountable because his opinions, like he like people listen to this dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
millions of people on a daily basis.
On it, like people like really take his words to like heart though. Like whatever he talks about, how his opinions is, people may follow that. So the way he speaks about Black people, the way he speaks about gays, the way he speaks about whatever subject, it's creating a future of people who agree with these ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of racist or prejudiced remarks or energy that's on his show.
No, understood.
And I don't give it.
What I'll say, I'll play devil's advocate a little, and I don't listen to Joe Rogan that much to sit here and defend him in any type of way, so I'm not trying to, but I'll defend like podcasting. I think he does a daily show, and there's millions of people. Like I said, I don't listen to it, but I listen to people who do listen to him, and the vibe I get is that he's not afraid to let the other side rock. Like he'll let a controversial side in, but then he'll also bring the other side in from it. How true that is, I can't vouch for it. Like I said, I don't hear it myself, but I do get the vibe that. So like I've always had an outlook, like I'll sit down and talk to somebody in the KKK. I'll sit down and talk to white supremacists because he's not gonna hurt me. We're not gonna sit down. He's not gonna beat me up at the table. And maybe he might drop something that might change my outlook on the world. And more than likely, I'll drop something that might change his outlook on the world. Whether he's willing to accept it or not, that's on him. I know what the energy I'm going into the table. And that's the vibe that I got from Joe Rogan is he'll take people, whether his personal opinion might be A or B, he'll take people from A and B and talk to them and maybe even debate with them, maybe even go back and forth with them, but he'll never deny them the platform. Why? But I do understand why that could be dangerous because we live in a world where people, we said it earlier, like they like to consume things in small clips. So you could take a clip of all 150 something shows that I've ever done, and I'm sure you could paint a picture of me that I wouldn't be a fan of. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm talking real with my homies on here. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we're all victims of that. That's why I'm against cancel culture. I mean, like, let's take it in context. Let's do some context culture. You know what I'm saying?
And I just think that people just need to dig a little bit deeper. Like, yeah, context canceling. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, I listen to Joe Rogan sometimes.
Okay.
So it's like kind of contradicting because I just want to hear what he's talking about in a sense where the world is. Because somebody thinks like him, there's other people in the world that think like that because he got billions of listeners. So,
okay. Yeah. 150%, man. And cancel is easy, right? It's real easy because what happens is it eventually becomes pile-on culture, right? It's like if I'm mad at Ambro and I get 5 other people to be mad at Ambro, eventually people gonna be, oh, it must be cool to pick on Ambro today. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people hop on. That's why I'm not with the cancel. But call people out. 100% is call and let's educate. Yo, this is why you can't do that, bro. Like if you want to be that, then go be that. But if you really want sponsors and this is why you can't do that. So you decide which side of it you want to be on. You know what I mean? And
that's a good point.
You'd be surprised how many people will be like, nah, I'm not making no apology or I'm not dropping no And then there's another side of people be like, I'll say whatever it is to keep these checks rolling in. So it's like, I think we just got to judge people on a general thing. I would never, like I said, I can't say and defend Joe Rogan, but I also can't make a judgment about him because I don't listen to enough of his stuff to do it. And I wouldn't do that with anybody. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's fair. That's fair because I don't think I listened to enough of his shows to make that assessment of him. Mm-hmm. It's just what I've experienced. So
yeah, you listen to more than me. So yeah, you even better talk. Well, even like we saw with the Dave Chappelle thing, a lot of transgender people, right, will come out and say, they didn't like it, right? And then other transgender people be like, did you watch the whole show? Because for you to have this outrage, I don't get the feeling you watched the whole thing. And it was calling a lot of people out that was just reading headlines and watching clips and saying, and how many people probably said, I'm not going to watch that. That seems hateful. I'm not going to watch that. That seems like it's not an engine. But it's like, yo, no, watch it. Give it and then make your judgment about it.
Right.
You know right. So yeah, it's just, I think where we at in culture, we got to just, I guess, not give it the 2 minutes that we feel like we have between elevator rides or between, you know what I'm saying, the Uber ride conversation or whatever, and just give stuff, I guess, the full judgment before we come out and make a statement on it, you know, via Kevin Samuels, via, you know what I'm saying, just anybody. Just, facts. Yeah, exactly. Take it all in general. But that's another episode in the books, and bro. But before we get up out of here, bro, I want you to just anything you want to talk about, just about projects you got coming up, projects you already got out, and let people know where they can find it, brother.
Yeah, and thank you for having me, Playboy.
Not a problem.
They can find me on all platforms under Ambro. That's AM_BRO. I have the new EP coming out on May 20th. That's in a week.
What's the name? Give them the name one more time. EP.
Bro Ting. Straight Bro Ting.
Bro Ting. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I hope everyone checks it out. I should have some visuals droppings with that as well. So
tell them about the visual. Tell them about the visual company. We didn't even talk about that. My man Ambro be filming videos too for like artists that want to, you know what I'm saying? I remember you told me
Yeah.
you're not trying to go like crazy with it, but plug that. That's a nice little business you got, brother.
Honestly, yeah, I do the video work. So real quick, I have videos coming out for my music. So just follow me and subscribe on YouTube. It's the same thing, Ambro. But I also do video work for other artists who's upcoming, who's trying to get attention as well. I like to call it budget videos because I knew how hard it was for me to do videos. So it's Ambro Vids. You can follow me on Instagram, I have Facebook. It's AMBRO space Vids. And on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I'm on everything.
There you go.
But
in the studio, the IDDC, is that you or that's somebody, your people's?
So that's my dude, Killer Kang on the keys. Kang, I do video work out of his studio. Okay. So his clients book me a lot, and I shoot a lot of their videos.
Fire. Okay.
He's really put me on in Arizona, no bull.
Nice. I was listening to your stuff on Apple Music today, man. Check him out on Apple Music, AMBRO, Ambro. All, you know what I mean? All them tracks up there is quality work, man. It's great. Everything looks beautiful. I'm proud of you, brother. You come a long way. I just want to let you know, man, like I seen the progression. We grown up together, you know what I mean? And if you would have bet, you know, who would I be having this podcast with talking about their music career 15 years later? I don't think I would have bet you, man. So I'm glad to be here with you, brother. It is a pleasant surprise. You can check me out. No, definitely. We're gonna chop it up one more question, but let me tell my people or your people actually where they can find me at PLICCAPLAYBOY, PLICCA on Instagram. Follow me at PLICCAPLAYBOY. Also follow at Perfect Talk Radio on Instagram. You can follow at DJPLICCAPLAYBOY on Twitter. You can also go to the website, www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Every episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast, my radio show, The Night Shift, and the radio show I do with my brother DJ Show, all in one place. Money Talks Radio right there. But I do have an announcement coming real soon for the website. I know I've been teasing that for weeks, and I'm not lying to y'all, it's coming. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, every episode of Perfect Talk Podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever your favorite podcasts are found. So go check us out. I'm even trying to get us on some more spots because I see some new people popping up in the podcast field. So I'm trying to have us everywhere worldwide, but check us out wherever you can. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Leave a like, rating, review, all that, because we love that over here, man. So usually around this time, and bro, I asked my brother Keith, you know, what he's watching on television. But you could tell me either something you watch on television, a book you reading, music you listening to, just anything artistically that you're a fan of, and you would like, you know, the people out there to know that you're a fan of it.
Okay. So right. Can I get you two things? So I'm watching The Circle right now on Netflix.
What's it called?
The Circle.
Okay.
It's the social media experiment. They get a bunch of people inside of a house, and you can only talk to a screen, and you gotta be the most popular in social media. Like you gotta make friends and make connections through the screen and through chat.
So there's a bunch of people in the house, and they all like one person per room, and you literally making all your connections to whatever attention you could get through a chat thread.
Through a chat thread, you just make conversations. You can have private conversations with people there.
No video? Is it video or not?
No video. Oh. You don't see what the other person looks like until the end.
Wow.
Or if you get booted off.
And are they dating or they're just competing?
It's a lot of social media influencers that they book on there. So like someone who's famous on Instagram or TikTok, they'll have different people in different rooms, and then they'll have like a group chat where they'll all talk and get to know each other. They can have profiles so you can see their pictures and what they're about. And then you decide who you want to connect with and make alliances with. And you vote throughout the season who's the most popular, and you got to make it to the end. You get like $100,000.
That's dope. Okay. You said you was watching something else too? You said too?
I'm listening to that Kendrick album.
Oh, okay. Yo, I've been busy all week and I haven't. As soon as we get out of here, I'm about to go check it out. But what you think?
It's what music needs right now. Like for everything we was talking about, like we need to change the sound of music. We need to push a different message, and he's trying to do that with keeping certain same elements. So I'm still listening to it. But right now I can say my favorite song is Worldwide Stepper. Check that song out, bro.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna check it out. Shout out to Kendrick. I like the video he put out with the deep fakes of Will Smith, Jesse Smollett, OJ Simpson, where he's like morphing into them. You seen that one, The Heart?
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, check that out on YouTube. It's crazy. It's called The Heart Part 5. I don't even know if it's on the album because usually I think a lot of the Heart joints he drops is just like a single he drops before the album comes out. But no, it's the deep fakes is incredible. Like what they could do with your face and put it on, you know what I'm saying? Like you could probably do app on your phone nowadays could do it, but it's like what they can have, just take someone's face and just have them doing is nuts. But certain parts of the song, he's rapping as OJ, he's rapping as Nipsey, he's rapping, but the lyrics match up with the face that he morphs into, for the most part. So yeah.
So the mouth is still saying the lyrics.
Mouth still saying the Kendrick's lyrics, yeah, and actually the hair still looks like Kendrick, but then the face will just morph into Kanye or morph into OJ. It's pretty dope how they did it. Bro. Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
Nah, yo, it was a pleasure rocking with you, brother. Like you said, check him out on all platforms at Ambro. Please check out his music. I think it's dope, man. And I would be saying that even if it wasn't my man, but this is a friend right here. This is a family of the Perfect Talk podcast, family of DJ Playboy, family of Plicca Enterprises. So just stay tuned and watch his work, man. And yeah, rock out with us, man. I appreciate having you on, brother. Blessings. I see big things in the future, and just keep rocking on, bro.
Bless up. Thanks, bro.
Yo, pleasure doing this with you, man. We up out of here, y'all. Say goodbye to the people, and bro.
All right, peace and blessings, everyone. Stay safe out there.
Yes, sir.